Hi Cancer, welcome to your week ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Cancer, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the before we start, I just want to say, for those of you that just left me to it while I had my time off and didn't harass and harangue me, I really appreciate it, and I thank you deeply for allowing me time and space to live my life as well. For those of you that did reach out to check that I'm all right, that I'm okay, thank you very much. It was really endearing to have so many of you tell me that you miss my work and that, you know, I'm a really hard worker and that's why you were worried because I always show up. I chose not to this time because I had, you know, other things that I needed to do as well. So thank you for allowing me the time and the space, and thank you for returning. With that said, if you are your key to the week this week is the Tower card. Okay, so this is not a new energy for Cancerians at this point. I think there have been so many Tower moments over the course of 2022 for everybody. And obviously because Cancer is a true sponge, empath, you know, picker up of vibes, let's say. And you've been kind of, you know, feeling the world climate, let's say, quite deeply. I would say that this really speaks to I would say this really speaks to a solid way of looking at things that allows you to, that allows you to kind of roll with the punches. The Tower card here does suggest that you are going to feel this week a lot more than maybe others. Why? Because we've got that powerful triple conjunction taking place this week. We're off the back of it, let's say. And it's going to be rippling out. And I think in a lot of ways, this is you tapping into the world climate. But the beauty of this is, remember with the Tower card, whatever comes to leave our lives when the Tower card shows up, it was meant to go, right? It clears the decks for all of us in some way, shape or form to really step forward. And it allows us to know what and who deserves the time and the space to be in our lives. Okay, so don't fret, don't stress about this. Whatever it is going to be, as they say, is it's going to be. But I will say, be on the lookout as well this week for some kind of, I want to say, like, technological insight. So this might be, maybe you're browsing the internet for something and you see something that really speaks directly to your soul. Maybe you hear something in a passing sort of, on a thread or, on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. Something could really, like the lightning bolt, strike to the heart of what you are thinking about or experiencing at this moment in time. If you are a continued subby, Raffi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. For your actions and options this week, you got the 5 of Cups. Okay, so look, the first thing that I want to say to you is remember the 5 of Cups is a card of loss. You've got this with the Tower card, which means, and this is in your actions and options, so it's about what you do, what you initiate. You could be initiating or creating an ending, a completion or a culmination of some sort, and maybe one that you're going to feel in the heart space. Maybe you are looking at this thing and saying, wow, you know what, I didn't expect this friendship to come to an end, but I actually do feel that this is the time to walk away from it. This could be, maybe something that you has been a part of your world or your life for a long time. And now you're saying, you know what, it really just isn't the time. It's just not, I don't have time for this person, this place, this thing anymore. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords with the Tower is a very potent mix, and usually when these show up, it's like whatever is done, there's no going back from it. So, and it doesn't have to be that this is an ending, because the Ace of Swords can be job interview. Sometimes the Ace of Swords will show up as a new contract. Sometimes it will be a very what's the word that I'm looking for? So, sometimes it will just be like a really potent conversation that we have that changes our perspective on something. Now, because of that, what I was saying to you earlier about the Tower card, you could see something or read something or hear something online this week that really speaks to your soul. And it's like you're making a decision based on what you see. So let's say, I don't know, maybe you're having a really tough time with a friend who rubbishes your ideas, and you read one of those inspirational quotes or memes and you think, right, you know what, that friendship is done now. I'm not going to allow myself to constantly be put down. That's an example of how this could play out. It's not the greatest example, but you get my drift. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, I got to be honest, this could literally be, maybe some of you are deciding to quit school. Maybe you're deciding, you know what, university is not for me. For others, you might be saying, actually, you know what, the weird thing is as well, I kind of feel like some of you have maybe been refused entry to a specific school. That could change, like that could really change this week very quickly, and maybe you get a call from them or through clearing or whatever, and they say to you, yeah, you know what, you can, we actually want to offer you a place now. And you think, you know what, well, it didn't happen organically, so I'm going to say no thank you. So, this could be, in that regard, it could be very potent. I almost get the feeling that this is you going against the grain in some way. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this could very much see you maybe thrust into a position of leadership that you don't want, or that you hadn't expected to gain so quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if that is a possibility this week. Just because of the way that the cards have fallen out, and it might in some way alienate you from your peers. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this could be you deciding to launch into something, whether you have the backing, the resources, or it's kind of like one of those things, where you just decide to do something and you're like, well, it doesn't necessarily make sense on paper, but I'm going for it. This could be great. So I look forward to seeing what it is for you. And then for your those of you that are retired and no longer working, honestly, I think this is you cutting yourself some slack, especially with the Tower card. I think this is almost like a flat out refusal to do something, or a withdrawal of your support. It's like you've maybe looked at all the information that's available to you. You're looking at the request and then you decide, you know what? No, I don't want any part of this. It doesn't feel like something I want to be involved in. For your heart and half, your love and relations, you've got the King of Pentacles. If you are single, you could be meeting a King of Pentacles. So this would usually be a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo. Earth signs do very well with water signs because they're complementary elements. So, that could be good. With the Ace of Swords here, this potentially is somebody that you're meeting through work or a professional sphere. It could also be that you maybe run into somebody in like the most mundane of ways, and potentially maybe not in the easiest of ways, right? Maybe you bump into their car. Maybe they bump into yours. Maybe you are at the supermarket and you go in for this thing and there's literally only one left, and it's you and this other person fighting over it. There's something here that suggests there's friction between you, but it's also sexual tension that could potentially develop into more. For those of you that are dipping your nib in the office ink, I would be very careful this week. If you are having an office romance and you don't want anybody to know, this week you could be outed. I don't know who needs to hear that, but it's coming through very loud, very strong. So if you are having any sort of office-based romance and you want to keep it quiet, this week I would definitely keep it on the low. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, look, I gotta be honest, this is potentially a partner losing a job. It is potentially a disruption to the partner's work and or finances. I don't see it necessarily being a long-term thing, but I do see it being very disruptive or frustrating in the present. And then finally, for your money and materials, you've got the Six of Pentacles. So, all right, your resources, especially with the Tower card here, this could be a spontaneous blessing, donation, benefactor of some sort that comes in, may come through the family, very possible, because you've got the King of Pentacles in the thing. This could be somebody coming in to assist or support you financially, or to save your bacon financially. And again, it's only for the short term, so don't let it be a thing. Don't have too much pride around this. For those of you that are trying to start something or get something off the ground, it looks like maybe money that you were relying on doesn't come through, but it does come from another source. So be open to that. Don't cut your nose off to spite your face. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your neck, your throat, and your voice. And your neck, your throat, and your voice come up twice in this reading. So you must watch out for this week, all right? So if you work in a capacity where your voice is important, be mindful. I know personally, I have a Cancer moon, so now that I know this, I will be extra careful. When it comes to your home and environment, I actually really like this for support coming in from the people that love and care for you most. And maybe there's a part of you that's like trying to be proud, but in the end you just say, you know what, they showed up, I'm not going to turn them away. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.